Welcome back, that is, to Black News Tonight. World leaders gather in New York City to talk global issues as we span the Black world, spotlighting stories from across the diaspora. Well, the newly elected president of Zambia, he addressed the United Nations General Assembly with alarming stating his concern over COVID-19 vaccines rate in the country. And he said despite the vaccine program being priority, Zambia has only managed to vaccinate about 3% of its eligible population since April 14th, 2021, when the program started. The UN General Assembly continues its annual meeting with dozens of international leaders to discuss the ongoing public health crisis, racism, climate change, governmental divides, and other pressing issues this week. Well, South Africa made its point to the UN by calling for reparations for victims of the slave trade. The restitution is for those still impacted by slavery in Africa throughout all of the Americas, as well as the Caribbean, the Middle East, and Europe. South Africa urges that millions of African slave descendants remain held back in underdeveloped states while facing disadvantages, discrimination, and poverty. Over in Namibia, hundreds of protesters stormed the parliament amid a debate over reparations. Now, reports say that about 300 protesters stormed Namibia's parliament as the National Assembly was due to vote on a $1 billion German reparations offer for the genocide against two groups in the early 1900s. Protesters marched through the nation's capital, climbed over a fence, and entered the parliament building. Now, the compensation they say that they offered was not enough, while arguing that they were not involved in negotiations with Germany. Shannon LaNier, that is, a granddaughter of a survivor of the genocide and also an advisor of the Nama Traditional Leaders Association Committee on Genocide, spoke with our Mark Lamont Hill on Black News Tonight about the divide over the talks of the reparations for the genocide.
First of all, I don't know how you apologize to somebody if you've never really had a discussion with that person. The discussions have been between the two governments. These have been bilateral discussions between two states. The genocide was not committed against the Namibian state. It was committed against a specific group of people, and these people are the Nama and the Ovaherero people.
Well, in the first visit to Washington, D.C., Angolia's president defended the relationship between Africans and African Americans. During his tour this week at the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture, the Angolian president was deeply moved, saying in part that the history of descendants of slaves in America is part of our common history. Speaking through an interpreter following a private tour of the museum, he added that Africans throughout the diaspora have witnessed the struggles of their ancestors and that such an experience was very touching and profoundly emotional. And last but not least, could Somalia be the world's first cashless economy? Well, since the installation of its first ATM in about 2014, Somalia's digital economy has boomed and expanded nationwide. The Somali Central Bank introduced a central payment system last month, connecting the nation's 13 lenders while implementing digital payments. Already, more than 60% of the transactions made in Somalia are made through mobile money platforms. As the world changes ways of buying and selling during COVID-19 pandemic, Somalia is pushing to be the world's first cashless society.